Australia providing $24 million to the Philippines for the recovery of Marawi from its crisis. Department of Labor and Employment lifted the ban on the deployment of overseas Filipino workers in the island nation of Micronesia. Philippines, New Zealand established ties on education. Closure of the embassy in Palau, along with 9 other diplomatic missions of the Philippines by the end of July 2012. Philippines and Vanuatu discussed trade and education cooperation. Economic relation between Papua New Guinea and the Philippines. Republic of Marshall Islands opens Philippine and Malawi consulate. The Republic of Fiji and the Republic of Philippines establish diplomatic relation. From the Cavite State University of International Studies of BSIS 1-4.
Hello Philippines and hello world. A wonderful day everyone. It is good to have you here with us. Today, we give you Oceania's good relationship with Philippines for over decades.
Philippines has been one of Australia's longest allies for over more than 70 years. Today, the relationship has grown and encompassed an ever-increasing people-to-people link, development assistance towards sustainable growth, trade and investment to expand economic ties, defense, and law enforcement cooperation. Australia have helped us in times of the attack in Marawi of pro-ISIL militants, providing $24 million for Marawi's recovery. Here's Asley Dunton to prove that 1 million people becomes one in any crisis.
On 23rd of May 2017, pro-ISIL militants attacked Marawi City, leading to 5-month siege and the displacement of more than 360,000 people. Since the Marawi crisis, Australia has provided $24 million to the Philippines to support the response, recovery, and long-term peace-building efforts for Marawi. Funding $12 million for the year 2017 to 2020 of the Australian Partnership for Peace Program or APP, with the main objective to support long-term stability and development in conflict-affected areas of Muslim Mindanao. APP is a competitive grants program implemented through international and local NGOs. Partnership that focuses on an exclusive participation in the peace process and political dialogue, including a focus on women. Investing in mechanisms for averting the escalation of violence.
Discussed today is the potential for the support of some small ADF teams that might be able to provide some specialised training to the armed forces of the Philippines. We would be, for example, able to provide that support at Philippines military bases. So not deploying Australian troops, but working with training capacity at Philippines military bases.
Strengthening community cohesion through religious leaders, women and youth, preventing countering violence. This program works with the communities of local levels and builds on the success of basic Bangsamoro and the Australia World Bank Mindanao Trust Fund, delivering community-driven development, reconstruction, and support for livelihoods in conflicted affected communities, including in the Moro Islamic Liberation Front or MILF, comes with a fund of $8.14 million for 2005 to 2019. Then, a $2.3 million for 2017 to 2019 is a support to Task Force on Bangon Marawi or TFBM. Investment of the World Bank to provide Philippines government technical assistance, just-in-time advisory services, and information in support of early recovery, reconstruction, and rehabilitation of Marawi City and surrounding areas, with a total fund of $24 million of Australia to Philippines, specifically in Marawi for their recovery. This is Asley Dunton reporting.
The Philippine government partially lifted employment restrictions for the Federated States of Micronesia following reports of alleged abuse and maltreatment of Filipino migrant workers. Xzysah, is this for all Filipino workers?
According to Belio Olalia of the Philippine Overseas Employment Administration, the returning workers are exempted the deployment ban but not for the newly hired Filipino migrant workers. The Philippine government has banned the deployment workers to the small Pacific Island nation after some Filipinos allegedly failed to receive their wages from Chuo State Hospital.
That is being verified as to whether there were unpaid wages, because we received information, especially from the OFWs themselves, that there is no such incident of non-payment of wages.
of Labor and Employment or DOLE lifted the ban on the deployment of overseas Filipino worker or OFW to the Federated States of Micronesia. Belio said POEA Governing Board Resolution number 5A series of 2018 lifted the deployment ban in Micronesia upon the recommendation of the Department of Foreign Affairs.
New Zealand and Philippines signed a Memorandum of Cooperation that was held during the ASEAN Summit bilateral meeting on the 14th of November 2017 at the Philippine International Convention Center that will strengthen their ties in the field of education. Here's Tiffany Aquino to report.
President Rodrigo Duterte and New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern witnessed the signing of the Memorandum of Cooperation between the New Zealand Qualifications Authority and the Philippines Commission on Higher Education on the comparative analysis of New Zealand and the Philippines bachelor degrees. It was signed by Commission on Higher Education CHED Chairperson Dr. Patricia Licuanan and New Zealand Ambassador to the Philippines, David Strachan. The MOC, which aims to strengthen education, cooperation, and establish comparability of degrees between the two countries. It is stated that in the Memorandum of Cooperation includes, but is not limited to, the following areas.
First, exchange information about the New Zealand and Philippine education and qualification systems, including the roles and responsibilities of NZQ academic program approval and quality assurance. Encourage technical cooperation that will be of mutual benefit to the participants. Compare the levels of the Philippine National Qualification Framework or PQF and the New Zealand Qualification Framework NCQF, beginning with a pilot project on the bachelor's degree level, and exchange information as appropriate to support our mutual interest in international student welfare and safety. Furthermore, CHED Chairperson Dr. Licuanan explains that more Filipinos want to live, work, study in New Zealand. It would be mutually beneficial for both countries to have an education cooperation agreement that provides a framework of transparency, accountability, respect, and protection of our citizens towards access to education pathways, clearer comparability of qualifications, and robust mobility of students and professionals.
The closure of the embassy in Palau, along with 9 other diplomatic missions of the Philippines by the end of July 2012. Marion, Quijano, was it the Philippines had an embassy in Palau? So is Palau?
Budgetary constraint was the cited reason Palau's President Jhoshua requested President Benigno Aquino III to reconsider the government's plan to close the embassy in Palau. According to Toribio, the embassy is essential in the delimitation talks to the two countries' maritime borders, and the embassy serves about 5,000 Filipino workers, which compose of 60% of Palau's foreign workforce and 20% of the country's total population. The closure of the Philippines embassy in Melequio was expected to affect the Filipinos' neighboring countries such as Micronesia and Marshall Islands. The Philippines Embassy in Ecuador closed on July 31, 2012. The Philippines has since maintained relations in Palau along with Micronesia and Marshall Islands through the DFA's Office of Asian Pacific Affairs and maintains an active honorable consulate in maritime borders. The exact boundaries of Palau in the Philippines is remain to defined by delimitation talks. A final agreement has not been made regarding the issue. The two countries share a maritime borders with Palau situated southeast of the Philippines and Filipinos fishing in Palau's EEZ or the Exclusive Economic Zone. Filipino fishing within Palau's Exclusive Economic Zone remains an irritant to the relation of both countries. Palau's waters, especially near its southern reach, is currently threatened by overfishing from boats from China, Indonesia, the Philippines, and other countries. Diplomatic relations between Palau and the Philippines reached its lowest points when Palau President Aquino threatened to serve several times with the Philippines due to repeated violation of Palau's EEZ by Filipinos.
The two diplomats discussed opportunities to expand bilateral relations for further trade and also recalled the bilateral cooperation on education. Here's Bryner Valdez to report.
Philippines and Vanuatu discuss trade and education cooperation. Ambassador of the Philippines to Australia, Maria Helen G. de la Vega, met Vanuatu High Commissioner to Australia, Pau George Callory, on January 31, 2019, and discussed opportunities to expand bilateral relations. The Philippines is the one of the top trading partners of Vanuatu, and Ambassador de la Vega and High Commissioner Callory discussed the opportunities for further trade. The two diplomats also recalled the bilateral cooperation of education, and High Commissioner Callory urged the Philippines to undertake more education initiatives with Vanuatu. The Philippines and Vanuatu established diplomatic relations in 1986. Ambassador de la Vega served as non-resident ambassador designate of the Republic of the Philippines to Vanuatu. This is Bryner Valdez reporting.
Since 1973, the two countries have pursued friendly bilateral ties through public and economic cooperation, including labor mobility. Following the credentials presentation of Fiji's current non-resident ambassador to the Philippines, H.S. Kelly Mataytoga, in January 2013, measures to strengthen and deepen bilateral and economic ties between the two countries heightened. This includes the drafting of a bilateral development cooperation agreement that is yet to be ratified, as well as three oriented memoranda of understanding. The bilateral documents certainly are leveraged to deepen ties and accelerate symbiotic cooperation between the two countries, were further boosted with the inauguration of Mr. Jesus M. Pineda as Fiji's honorary consul in the Philippines in November 2013.
In March 2009, the Philippines and Papua New Guinea entered into a memorandum of understanding that will enhance the cooperation between the two countries on the development of fisheries. The Memorandum of Understanding will facilitate technology transfer in aquaculture development, promotion of shipping ventures, investments, technical training, joint research, and the strategic complementation of each country's plans in the Coral Triangle. Are the waters between the Philippines, Indonesia, and the Pacific Islands. The fisheries trade is significantly responsible for recent overall trade growth between the Philippines and Papua New Guinea. In March 2012, the Philippine Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources has started discussions with Papua New Guinea officials in the issues of access and trade. Under the proposed agreement, Papua New Guinea is willing to give fishing rights to Filipino commercials, fishermen in its waters in exchange for agricultural commodities and rice. There are about 25,000 Filipinos in Papua New Guinea as of 2013.
Republic of the Marshall Islands opened its honorary consulate in Manila. Blessed by Reverend Father Raimundo Sabia, the dedication of its headquarters in Philippine Stock Exchange Center, Pasig City on April 20. Appointing Eduardo Benji Conde Atiriano Jr. as the country's honorary consul in the Philippines by the President of the Marshall Islands, Hilda Capitani.
The Republic of the Marshall Islands opened its first honorary consulate in Manila. Blessed by Reverend Father Raimundo Sabia, the dedication of its headquarters in Philippine Stock Exchange Center, Pasig City on April 20 was attended by Secretary Bruce Quijano of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade of the Republic of the Marshall Islands. Department of Foreign Affairs Executive Director of the Asian Pacific Division Emilio Fernandez, Director General Gary Lin of the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in Manila, Dean Michael Ang and members of the Consular Corps, Philippine Ambassador to Russia Ambassador Victor Garcia III, and Leo Bolivar of the Marshall Islands Registry of the Philippines Country Office, among others. President of Marshall Islands Hilda Cathy Hain has appointed Eudaldo Benji Conde Atiriano Jr. as the country's honorary consul in the Philippines. In his remarks, Secretary Bruce Quijano shared that the government of the Republic of the Marshall Islands has decided to maintain its honorary consular post in Manila in recognition of the important and prominent role of the Republic of the Philippines in Asia, generally the East Asian region. The country also considers the Philippines as a major political, cultural, educational, economic, and business center as a strategic gateway to Asia and East Asia. This goes to show the importance of the progress that the Republic of the Marshall Islands and the Republic of the Philippines have made thus far and on the need to explore other areas of cooperation. This year marks the 30th anniversary of establishment of diplomatic relation between our two countries, and it is therefore fitting that as we launch the honorary consulate, we recommit ourselves to working together for the mutual benefits of both our two countries and peoples for the next 30 years and beyond. Quijano added. Atiriano vowed that the honorary consulate will promote the service and benefits of both countries and peoples.
Again, this is Joyme Laga.
Angelica, Nicole, Pascua.
Have a great day, everyone.
And enjoy the rest of the weekend.
This is 24/7 News Hour.
overseas Filipino worker in the island nation of Micronesia.